Tami, Heide, and joining us here in the KROQ studios, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins. How are you, Billy?
Fine, thank you, Tami.
Nice to see you once again.
Nice to see you. Sorry I'm late.
I'm sure you have a good excuse.
Actually, we got lost.
Oh, no way. You've been here so many times. I don't believe that for a second. Last time we saw you, it was a cold, rainy day. You were playing outside the Virgin Megastore. Today it's a cold day. What's up with that?
It's the black cloud that hangs over our band.
Is it? It's like the character from Peanuts, right? So you're playing tonight, a sold-out show,
yes.
Universal Amphitheater.
Very excited.
We're very excited to see you. I've been reading all the postings on your new website, smashingpumpkins.com. And there seems to be all these little cryptic clues and things going on.
Right. Well, the album's sort of a concept album, so I think as time goes by, people are figuring out more and more of the story. But I feel like I'm still leading them by the nose a little bit. But.
Yeah, I think you really are. I think people are clueless because I was reading some of the postings, and because there was this news about Darcy getting, the charges against her dropped, and people are saying, oh, she's rejoining the band, she's going to play keyboards, and Melissa's going to stay on, and blah, blah, and then it deteriorated into Melissa versus Darcy.
Right. I can deny that rumor. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen? No. It's all Mickey Rourke and plastic surgery, and we can't quite figure out what's going on with that. But I guess she's pursuing an acting career is what we hear.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's all I know.
That's all you know, too. You just read the tabloids?
I get the alternative Inquirer.
Okay. I don't know where you subscribe to that, but... so the Sacred and Profane tour,
yes.
What, about halfway through?
No, we have maybe 4 more dates in America.
Okay.
And then, and then we're going to go to Japan, Europe, and then after that, we don't know what we're going to do.
Okay, so the website kept alluding to some big announcement or something.
Right. It's true. I'm here to finally announce the band is going to break up at the end of this year. Why? That's a very good question. We felt that before we even started this album that we'd sort of come to the end of our sort of road, emotionally, spiritually, musically. So we wanted to make one more album together. That was the intention of getting Jimmy back in the band, was to make one more album and sort of end on a good note, between each other, more importantly than the public part of it. So making the album together, and also that included Darcy, because she was involved in this album? Yeah, absolutely. Right. Unfortunately, that situation didn't work out the way we had hoped, but we still got to be together and make music again together. And we didn't sort of want to tell people when the album came out that this was the band's last album, because we didn't want it to become all about that. But the rumors have dogged us to the point where it's almost becoming sort of, it's like a cloud. Speaking of a cloud, it sort of hangs over everything. So I think the time has come to let people know that this is the end. And we can't figure out your obtuse messages you're posting. Well, they'll make more sense now. Okay, so now all the clues come together. I can't believe that you're breaking up with us, though, right before the prom and everything. I mean... Well, we're not breaking up today. We're breaking up soon. Okay, so... But I sort of wanted to sort of give people a little heads up before we do these last shows in America, because they quite possibly could be our last shows. We would like to do a tour at the end of the year, sort of a see you later, farewell, sayonara tour, but... the way things are right now, it's really hard to say. It's not that there's nothing wrong inside the band, but the way the culture is and stuff, it's really hard to, keep trying to fight the good fight against the Britneys and the world. You were the guys that were supposed to save rock. No, we did a bad job. We did a very bad job. Well, I'm still excited. I still believe that there's still, things left to go. We're going to make another video for our next sort of a video song, which is going to be Try. And, we have some other things to do. We still want to do some more recording and things. There's things we want to do. But it's sort of reached that point where, it's so much in the air all the time. And I get asked 45 times a day, is it true, is it true? So, and it's hard for me. I'm a pretty honest person. It's hard for me to not tell people the truth. So, it's time to tell the truth and let the truth be known, I guess. All right. Well, listen, since you just dropped this big bomb here on KROQ... Actually, I blame you. Why is it my fault? Why you want to hate me? Because you last time I spoke to you, you said, you guys should go back to that Gish thing. Did I say that? I don't think I said that at all. That's always the thing I hate the most. No, I don't. In fact, actually, the last time I talked to you, it was right before Thanksgiving, and you kind of told me that was the plan. Right, and I swore you to secrecy, too. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. And that was hard to keep that secret.
But see, this is perfect now.
But I didn't believe you. I went into a state of denial.
Okay. But see, this is good because you can confirm that we were going to break up before this album came out.
Yes.
So you're my sort of secret witness.
Wow. I feel proud, honored, and kind of scared at that. That's a big responsibility. I don't know if I'm up to the task.
You were fine.
Okay. I know that we have some tickets to give away to tonight's sold-out show. I know we have a couple more songs to play, and I don't know if you want to take any phone calls, but why don't we play another song from the Pumpkins and let Billy talk into the Jed Fish Show? What the hell?
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to talk anyway. He's talked enough.
Well, you know, whatever.
I'll wrestle him when he comes in.
I don't know what to say to that. Hey, it's 106.7 KROQ, KROQ. Billy Corgan is our guest from the Smashing Pumpkins, and I had a bad dream a couple minutes ago that you just told me that the band is breaking up.
It's not true.
It's not true?
No, it is true.
It is true?
Yeah.
You're confusing me. I'm blonde. That's not fair. No, so you finally told the truth, basically.
Yeah, we've sort of, we thought about telling people right when the album was going to come out, but then we thought then it would just be all about that. And not about the music and not about the album. So now that the album's been out, it's fine.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to talk to some people? Because
sure.
People have some questions here at KROQ.
I wonder what they're going to ask.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, my name is Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. What did you want to ask Billy?
I just wanted to ask Billy, after he did Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, he said that he was basically done with the rock medium. And a couple of different interviews I read that he had taken rock music, guitar rock, as far as it could go. And then when he did Adore, it was a much mellower, much more low-key album. And from everything I read and heard, is that he was disappointed with the response of his audience. Is he letting audience, response to his music and record sales affecting, whether or not the band is going to stay together?
Right. That's an excellent question, because I know that's probably going to be a question that's asked by a lot of people. No, it has nothing to do with it. When we got to Melancholy, we really felt that as a band we'd gone about as far as we can go in that particular direction. But we never foresaw that what was going to happen with Jimmy was going to happen, that Jimmy was going to leave. And the Adore album was a great experience. We really learned a lot. And so when Jimmy came back into the band, it was really more about the emotion of being together again and making music again. And that superseded any sort of desire about whether we had to meet up to the cultural standard of what is progressive, the sort of same goals that we had when we were a little younger. We just wanted to make one more album to sort of leave things on a really positive note. Not because Adore was poorly received in some people's minds. It was more about what people felt about the band spiritually. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does, perfectly.
So this was about sort of bringing the band back together spiritually and reconnecting the original band with the band's audience. Like I said, it unfortunately didn't work out that way completely with Darcy, but Melissa's been wonderful and amazing, and we're really blessed to have her be with us on this album. So it's sort of it's more about completing the circle and leaving things on a really sort of positive note. And we've really enjoyed this year. I think we've enjoyed this year more than any other year that we've ever been a band. And that's about it. It's sort of just leaving everybody with sort of a nice kiss and one more swing. And as far as the rock part goes, it's sort of the opposite. We decided to make a rock album because that's what we felt like doing, and that's what we felt in our bones because of Jimmy's absence and because of all the sorrow that we'd been through. We wanted to sort of release all that back out. If Jimmy had stayed in the band, I don't think we would have ever gone back in that direction.
Are you planning on possibly continuing as a solo artist, or putting together another band, or is this it for you as far as rock or alt-rock type music and going on and doing your own thing?
Right. I really honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I've been in the Smashing Pumpkins, at least with James, since I was 19 years old. It's been my whole adult life. And everything I've seen as an adult has literally been through the eyes of the band, or because of the band, or about the band, all the good things and all the bad things. So I really need to walk away from music for a while and sort of see what I want to do. I know that I'll make more music, but whether I want to continue to be a commercial artist, a pain-in-the-ass artist, or just some sad guy in the corner, I really don't know. I really have to ask myself what I want to do.
Billy, I asked you some time ago, Tami, Heide here at KROQ, and Jed the Fish has joined us in the studios. I asked you a while ago, I said, do you have any other aspirations, other artistic outlets? And you said, no, my friends have decided I pretty much am only good at one thing. Well, actually, two things. Driving everyone around me crazy. And then I asked you what the other thing was, and I think you were talking about music, but I mean, you have done some stuff, your soundtrack work with Stigmata, and it seems like you could be a conductor, director. You could do whatever you want.
No, I'm lucky because at least in my personal situation, I think I can do whatever I want to do. I think all those doors are open. Now, whether I can do them well or anybody cares, that's another question. But I think it comes back to doing what I want to do. Being in a band like the Pumpkins, I know it's hard for some people to understand because most of it gets put on me, but collectively, we made a decision to be a challenging band artistically, to challenge people's thoughts about what a rock band could be, and that came collectively. And that's been exhilarating, but also sort of very wearying. We feel that a lot of things that we've done to sort of push the boundaries of what a band can do has sort of overshadowed our music. And I think that it'll be nice to sort of let the music just sort of be now once we come to the end of this year. And as far as the future goes, I think the future is really great. I think that everybody wants to go and do different things. I know Jimmy really wants to race cars. It's a real passion of his. And I know that James really wants to get into music that he feels closer to, because I don't think the Pumpkins music has truly reflected who he is as he's gotten a little older. So who I am in that picture, I really don't know. Like I said, it's been 13 years, and it's been incredible, but, who's on the other side of that? Who am I on the other side of that? I don't really know.
Well, you have yet to find out.
Yeah.
So do you feel, now that you've announced this on KROQ and made it official, thanks, by the way, for coming out to me today, to us on KROQ.
Well, we're just going to confirm one rumor today, Tami.
Okay, just one. I'm sorry. But do you feel like a weight has been lifted?
Yeah, I do. I think that deep down our fans really knew that this is the end. And I think if you really look at the album, you listen to the album, it's in the album. I mean, we brought this thing to what we felt was a really strong conclusion. And it's sort of freed us to enjoy it. It's not, every time we don't sell a record these days, it doesn't kill us, because what does that mean for the future? And every time something doesn't happen the way we want it to happen, it's just gotten us back to enjoying being the Smashing Pumpkins, making music, and really enjoying meeting people and sort of living completely on that level, because we've gotten to live on all the different levels that the world affords you.
So you are going to continue this U.S. tour, and then you have some European dates?
We have 4 more dates, and then we're going to Japan and Europe.
And I hear you're doing a VH1 Storytellers, and you're also taping Tonight Show at Universal.
Yes, yeah. And we also hope to go back to South America. And I know we're doing the Canadian Lollapalooza with Foo Fighters and Our Lady Peace.
Tour, yeah.
So, roughly around the end of the year. We may go a little longer than that.
Okay.
We may come up a little shorter than that. But yes, just to answer your question before fully, I do feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I've been walking around with this weird secret. And it's completely counterintuitive for the Pumpkins to not tell everything that's going on.
So are you going to wear white tonight instead of the traditional black?
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to play Eye of the Morning, and then I'm going to hand it over to my friend Jed the Fish.
Here comes the real question.
You can hang out for as long as you want, and I thank you for coming by. And I'm not going to be official anymore, so thanks, Billy, for coming by. We'll see you tonight at the Universal Amphitheater. In fact, I want to take a caller now and give away a pair of tickets to the other person whose phone call we didn't get to.
Right.
And let's start Eye of the Morning on KROQ.
Pasadena, Los Angeles. My good friend Tami, Heide here with Billy Corgan.
Hey.
Want to take some calls?
Yeah, I think we should. I think there's a bunch of people on hold. So, Julie.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Billy. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Julie.
I'm really disappointed to hear this. I'm a very big fan.
Oh, don't be disappointed. It's okay.
It hurts. It really hurts.
To hear what?
To hear that they're breaking up.
Oh,
why does it hurt?
It hurts because now it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the Smashing Pumpkins anymore, and they're all going to separate and go their own way. And I love your music. I truly love
Thank
your
you.
music.
But I would focus on the glass half full part. We've managed to...
It's for, if you guys are happy. I'm just wondering, how are other band members? Are they relieved about it, too?
So I wouldn't put it in that context. We look at it as a glass half full thing. The fact that we've been through as much as we've been through, gotten beaten over the head as much as we have, and stayed together for so long. When you think of how many other bands from Generation X didn't really make it, as long as we did, play as many concerts as we did, I'd rather look at the sort of accomplishment of hanging in there and making a lot of great music. So it's like we're more proud about what we've accomplished, and it's just time
to smash the final pumpkin.
Oh my God, that is so lame.
I apologize for Jed the Fish.
That is so weak.
Let's take another call.
Let's see, somebody, Diana on line 4. Hi, Diana.
Yes.
Joining us on KROQ.
My God.
You had a question for Billy Corgan.
Yes. I have a question about when he's going to be on VH1 Storytellers.
I think we're going to tape in August, but when they actually sort of show it, I guess probably October-ish.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that I am so sad. Me and my friend are getting ready to the Universal, and we just were just shocked, and we're like crying right now. But you know what? We've seen you in 4 shows. We saw you in Orlando. It was just like the best show ever, and we're just, just sad.
Don't be sad, though. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate it, but it's I mean, maybe the idea of it's sad, but if you think about all the good things, all the positive things, it's not sad.
Right. But, we always have that song in our head, Try. That's our, favorite song. Will you be playing it tonight?
You know what? I'll play it just for you.
Really, Billy?
Yeah. Okay?
Oh, my God, I love you. My name is Diana, and we'll be in the pit.
I'm going to change all the words just for you, too.
Thank you.
Okay.
God, I love you.
Love you, too.
Okay.
Remember, there can't be a comeback unless they break up.
That's true.
Right.
The end is the beginning is the end is the beginning is the end.
And here it is.
All right, let's take another call. Let's see. What do you want to go to? Stacy in Northridge on line 5. Hi, Stacy.
Hey.
Hi, you're on KROQ.
Hi, Billy.
Billy
Hi,
Corgan.
Stacey.
I want to know if you're going to release a whole bunch of B-sides like the Aeroplane box set, because those songs are amazing. And I think you said, no one listens to them. I listen to them. They are incredible.
No, I just said that to be a pain. But, no, we've actually got probably about another album's worth of songs left over from Machina, which we're going to try to finish starting in July. Mm-hmm. And then we also might do some additional sort of live recording. So there's other stuff that we're going to sort of release, but when it comes out, whether it comes out now or 10 years from now, I really can't say.
Oh, it's amazing. I saw you in Santa Barbara on Sunday, and you guys just were incredible. I've never seen you so happy.
Oh, thank you.
It was such a great show.
Hey, Stacy, are you going to Universal tonight?
I'm not going tonight.
You aren't?
Tickets. I'm so upset.
Really? Would you like to go?
I would try to go.
Can I make
Stacy gets to go.
Yay! Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't do something like that.
Are you serious?
No, we wouldn't drop 2 bombs. We wouldn't tell you that the Smashing Pumpkins are breaking up and then not give you the ticket.
Oh, my God. I'm dying here. I can't believe it.
All right, so hang on and we'll hook you up with that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks for calling.
So how would you package that? You have 3 or 4 songs left over. You haven't thought about whether they're coming out in the fall or coming out 10 years from the fall, and how do you make it look like they're not just left over from the last Machina album?
Well, actually, we recorded enough for another double CD.
Wow.
And it just sort of, got to finish a vocal here and there. But, there was no way we were putting ourselves through the double CD thing again.
Yeah, you got punished for that.
No, not particularly, but it's hard to convince people that, 2 albums, 2 CDs, were worth listening to. Reviewers were complaining that Machina was too long, and that was 15 songs. So I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we'll finish it, so it'll just come out at some point. Whether it comes out this year or whenever, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, but do you think of a title for the collection, or do you just maybe release it as an EP?
I guess it would be Machina Part 2, but again, we want people to buy Machina Part 1.
Right.
And, we're still hoping that's going to happen. So we're not really concerned about selling Machina Part 2.
You want to take some more calls?
Sure.
Okay, let's go to Selena. Selena, forever, in Northridge, joining us on KROQ. Hi, Selena.
Hi, how's it going?
All right, what's up? You wanted to say something or ask something of Billy Corgan?
Yeah, I do. I actually wanted to ask, does he think that this is the end of a rock era since they're breaking up? Because, I really think so. And that's an excellent question to ask. And I really think that this is the end of the rock era since they're breaking up now. Does he think so?
I don't know. There's so many great bands that are out there right now, and bands that are still going from, Gen X, whether it's Nine Inch Nails or Pearl Jam. So, I wouldn't take that much credit.
But still, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, the caller brought up a good point, actually, that there's the early 90s sort of grunge category that, of course, the Smashing Pumpkins in my mind never fit in. And then there's the mid-90s kind of music, and now there's the music that's really successful now seems to be of a more shameless, not apologizing for my celebrity and being rich and wanting to be a rock star variety. And do you have any comment on why that's popular now?
It's hard to say. I know that certainly it's a hard case to make, to be selling a lot of records and then talk about integrity. The two don't seem to go together, and certainly all the Generation X bands were sort of compromised by the success that we all had between 90 and 96 or 97. As far as the particular generation that's listening to the particular bands now that don't seem to be caught up as much in the game of integrity, and I always thought it was a game, maybe they're just reflecting that the economy is good and life seems better. They're not afraid of dying in a nuclear war every day, like maybe we all grew up in. Maybe the fact that people's problems are more out on the table, there's not as much repression in the society. I don't know. I don't think it's a matter of better or worse. It's just a matter of times change, and people sort of seem to gravitate the other way. I know some people have said that they sort of felt worn down by, what they viewed as the complaining angst of Generation X. But that, again, I think that was a media portrayal that sort of didn't get to the heart of the fact that the bands were really singing about real things. And I'm sure that the bands that are out right now are singing about real things. They're reflecting their society just as much as we did.
Right, and you can get worn down by hitting those topics like, gee, I love having strippers and groupies and lots of drugs backstage, and that can get old,
Jed,
too.
that never gets tiring. Ever.
Well, thank you, caller. Thanks for the good idea. Do we have one more?
Sure.
Pick a name.
Let's go with Carla in L.A. Hi, Carla. You're joining us on KROQ now. Hi, Carla. Did you have a question for Billy Corgan?
Yeah, I was wondering if, after all this, is he going to go and reinvent himself, or is he just thinking of evolving?
Yes, Madonna is going to reinvent himself.
I don't know what I'm going to do, really.
You responded to that word, didn't you?
What's that?
That reinvent word.
Well, I feel like I've sort of been reinventing myself along the way, so I suppose I will. I suppose I will. I know that I can say that what most people think of me or think the person that I am, I know that that's not true. I know that I'm not that person that the media's turned into sort of a cartoon character. So maybe someday I'll actually show up as the real Billy Corgan. I don't know. But I think my songs speak for themselves. I think that to be 6'4" and be from a very uptighty white world and sing about love and heartbreak and hope and things like that, that's hard to come from the gut of somebody who doesn't care.
You might even grow some hair, I bet.
That's right.
Well, actually, you said it'd be a cartoon. You were in The Simpsons, and you told me that...
That was the beginning of the end, actually, if you think about it.
I thought you could have quit after that, and, you're immortal. You're a Simpsons character, and you actually did have them draw hair on you for that episode.
Well, I felt that was sort of my last stand. Actually, ironically, the two... When you walk down the street and people talk to you about different things that they sort of respond to, the two top things of all time have been being on The Simpsons and being on Regis and Kathy Lee. So those are the two things that we've done that have actually had the most impact.
Simpsons good. Regis and Kathy Lee, we never really understood
that. I have to say, I was down with Regis before the Millionaire Show. Right. So I was on the bandwagon very early.
So you get major props for that. Jed, what do you want to do? You're in control now here at KROQ.
That's a frightening thought.
I know, isn't it, though? It happens every day at this time, though.
I'm tripping out into myself.
I love on Dark Star.
Did you want to...
By CSN?
Well, wait a minute. Did you want to hear... you wanted to play Muzzle,
Yes,
right?
I think Muzzle sort of encapsulates the sentiment of the day.